Welcome back to another episode of the Band of Barbers Podcast. I'm your host, Devon Evans. And today, guys, we got a hot one for you. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. We're going to discuss the 5 reasons that neglecting personal development is costing you money. I can remember a time in my career where I was so focused on technical skills that I paid no attention to the client. Absolutely none. I would get the client in the chair, I do the consultation, and I focus so much on just improving my technical skills, I paid absolutely no attention to the client. And, one of the things that really happened with that was that it really started to cost me money, right? I had a few clients that didn't like to talk in the chair, but most of my clients, they want to hold a conversation. They want to talk about something. And initially, when I first started in the business, some might say I had the gift for gab. Like that was my thing. I like to talk. I like to talk to my clients because I didn't have a strong skill set at the time. So how did I make it up? I made it up by talking to my clients and making them feel comfortable in the chair, making them understand, different things, and really discussing a lot of different things that was going on in their lives. Now, prior to me going into barbering full time and being a professional barber, prior to that, I had done some personal development. So I was familiar with the topic. I was familiar with what was going on and things like that. And what really ended up happening for me, I will say, is that I started to review some of my personal development stuff as I was trying to grow in the business and do things like that. So I focused for, I would say, probably about 3 months on just technical skills. So I got really, really silent with my clients during that time. And I really began to focus on just providing a great service. That's what I really got focused on. I just focused on providing a great service and nothing else, right? Now, my beginning customer service, my end customer service was always consistent. But that middle part where you really build a relationship with your client, that was not there. That was not there at all. And so, I told you guys we're going to give you the 5 reasons that it's costing you money. And so getting that and understanding that when I started to go back and match my personal development, my personal growth with my growing technical skills, my clientele started to grow rapidly. And that brings me to point number 1 for today. Point number 1 is stagnant client base. Listen, when you neglect that personal development, it can cause you to be real stagnant, and you might have a few faithfuls, or you might have some guys that come in one time getting in a chair and you never see them again. But you have to understand that clients are looking for barbers who not only excel with their technical skills, but they also are showing you that they're growing personally. They're evolving. They want to see people evolving. They don't want this. But that one song, they want that old thing back. They don't want the old thing back. They want to see you grow and develop as a person. Listen, whether clients want to say it or not, clients can do simple math. And when they're looking at a shop full of people and they know what they're paying for their service, and if you're a solo barber, or they know that money is coming in, right? But you can be a barber with money, or a barber or barber who gets money, or a barber who grows with his money. All right. And I'm telling you, like, investing in your personal development just keeps your services fresh. You'll have new ideas to discuss and talk with your clients, and it'll help you gain and bring in new clients, and it'll also help you retain existing ones. Right? It'll help you retain existing ones. Okay? And that's a big deal, guys. Listen, in order to make money, you have to have clients. You have to have a tribe of people that come and sit in your chair. And if you have nothing to talk about with them, then there are very few that are going to stay around for a dead, no conversation barber. All right. And the barbers that I've seen that have that don't have the best personal development and things of that nature, the barbers that I've seen do that have extremely high technical skills. I'm talking about motion picture, movie quality technical skills. And so a client may be willing to sacrifice a unprofessional client or unprofessional barber for high technical skills. Keyword in that sentence is may. Not will, may. They may deal with that type of barber. But I promise you, I've seen more times than not, a client is willing to take a barber with mediocre skills at best, that have great customer service, great personality. They deliver, they're consistent, they're professional. They will take that barber hands down, hand over fist every single time, before they will deal with or tolerate a just unprofessional, emotional, angry, disrespectful barber. They just will. Right? And that brings me to my second key thing that's costing you, or what that's happening by your lack of professionalism or your lack of personal development. Your lack of personal development can lead to missed business opportunities. We don't know who's sitting in our chair. All right, we just don't. We don't know who's sitting in our chair. Right? And so the person sitting in your chair may be the person that can help you take your business to the next level, or introduce you to another thing that you can add to your business. They may be able to do that, but you won't know if you're so guarded or you're so blocked off. All right. And some of the things that are missed business opportunities is hesitating to adapt to new trends. Now, I will say this, in the shop that I work in, everybody uses enhancements sparingly, right? I don't really like to use enhancements. I believe that my clipper work should talk for itself. Between my clipper and my razor, it should talk for itself. Now, do I still offer it to customers? Yes. Do I force it on customers? No. Enhancements are not a guaranteed part of my service. It's just not. I will add it in if they request it, but it's not something that I automatically do. But there was a period of time where the enhancements were very, very popular in the shop, and I refused to do it. And you know what that meant? clients were going to the barbers who provided that service. And the enhancements was an extra fee. It was an extra fee. Okay, and so that failure to adopt that trend at that time cost me money. It just did. Right. I also neglecting my marketing, neglecting taking pictures and posting them on social media. Has been a detriment to my business. It has been a detriment to my business. Right. I'm still functioning in that old school mentality, right? Hoping that somebody sees somebody else out in town and says, "Hey, where'd you get your haircut? It looks really nice." Listen, we're talking about men. The men don't really talk about where they get their haircut. They treat their barbers like a they treat their barbers like a hidden gem. So they're not going to talk about it, and they're also probably not going to look to share it with other people. Why? Why are they not going to share it? Let's be honest. Because if I share it with everybody and then you come to my barber, now my barber's busy, I can't get in. So you got to do it yourself. You got to market and get your stuff out there. You got to market and get your stuff out there. You also, closing yourself off, again, like I said, you don't know who's sitting in your chair. That can cost you some networking abilities, right? You don't know who's sitting there and what they can connect you with or to. Right. So embrace the personal development. It broadens your skill set as an entrepreneur. Because as an entrepreneur, yes, barbering was a vehicle in entrepreneurship. It shouldn't be the only vehicle that you pursue. Right? You don't know what can happen, what doors can open, and what partnerships or new revenue streams can develop behind your chair. But if you're not personally developed, able to hear, understand, and take in the information that they're giving you, it's going to cost you. It is going to cost you. Right? And that brings me to point number 3. Point number 3 is that limited professional visibility. If you're not posting, if you're not handing out business cards, if you're not doing these things, yes, showing up to work every day is great, but you're then dependent on the shop to bring in the business. Sorry, guys. You're then dependent on the shop to bring in the business. Okay, and it's just a struggle when you're dependent on somebody else to bring in the business. The business owner may not want to, especially if the business owner is another barber. He may have wanted to help you and feed you in the beginning, but he's probably not going to do that forever. Furthermore, his promotion is going to go towards the shop, not towards you personally. It's not going to personally promote you, the individual barber. That is your responsibility. Okay? That is your responsibility. And you just have to understand that. Like, that's your responsibility. So developing personally, understanding, new marketing techniques, new communication techniques, learning all of these things, new marketing techniques, dealing with, and I'm going to say this, dealing with some of that baggage that you have inside of you, some of that baggage that's holding you back, that's got you skeptical about everything, dealing with that stuff. And personal development is not only professional stuff, right? Professional stuff is one thing, but if you're doing just professional stuff and you're not dealing with some of them skeletons that live in your closet, it's still going to come out in your work. It's still going to come out in your work. A person comes in to your shop, you don't like the way that they communicate, you frown your face up at them because long time ago somebody talked to you and you didn't like the way that they talked to you and they reminded you of that person. Yeah, affects your work. Just in case you were wondering. Affects your work. I'm going to tell you guys this. Hey, you probably should go to therapy. You got in a place and you're in a career where you can work for yourself. Therapy might be one of those things you might want to add into working on yourself. Just like I say, you can't work in the business. You can't always work in the business and not on the business. Same principle applies. You can't always be present in the business and not work on yourself. The old and the old adage, the old you has to die and improve for new growth and potential. We talked before about our 6-figure goals behind the chair. Listen, man, if you coming from a place making $25, $35, maybe $40,000 a year in a job, and you go into a place and now you're making $100,000 a year, you're going to have to prepare for that because you're going to have more money on a consistent basis than you ever had. Now, you can use that same $40,000 mentality that you was using before and spend up all your money and run back and forth to the shop and chase a dollar. You can do all that if you want to, but I'm telling you, that's going to be difficult. That's going to be difficult. And I'm going to be honest with you. At 6 figures, you probably just going to be as broke as you was at 25, 30. Because you haven't developed yourself to understand what you need to do or what you can do with that money to help grow. Barbering is a physical demand. As you get older, standing behind that chair is going to get more difficult if you don't take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. If you don't take care of yourself physically, that chair is going to beat you up. And in that chair beating you up, guess what? You're going to slow down. But if you had 3, 4, 5 good years of 6 figures, that's 400. Let's say at a bare minimum, that's $400,000. But if you blew through $400,000 trying to prove to someone who hurt your feelings 20 years ago, and you see them and you're trying to prove to them that now that you're doing good, so you're going out and buying the best used car that you can find, right? A old luxury vehicle with probably 100,000 miles on it, but you keep it clean. You doing all that kind of stuff. You got, you making 6 figures now, so you going to places you ain't never been. You ordering from the Gucci store or you buy all the new Jordans that come out and everything. Listen, man, why are you doing that? What you wear has no, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I'm going to say this. What you wear on your body has no impact on a correlation between your skill set, your technical skills, your business acumen, the way that you handle it. It has nothing to do with that. And can we just be honest for a minute? Can I be honest with you? Let me be honest with you just for a second. Most of you are not going to most of y'all got a guy, and you know that all them sweatsuits that you spent your money on, all that you spent your money on, or all of these outfits you just spent your money on, although you spent money on it, it wasn't the money that it cost, but you're trying to portray an image. So you're portraying an image that's not real, and the stuff that you got on is probably not real either. So your image isn't real, your clothes aren't real. So what's real? You're not even being you. You can get that stuff. That's fine, guys, but who are you doing it for? Are you doing it in hopes to impress? Are you the what are those? I forget what birds they are. Are you doing it with the bird with all the colorful feathers to show how beautiful you are, how handsome you are to attract a mate? Is that why you're doing this? Because what happens, and we're not going to play 21 questions, but what happens if you fall off? What happens if your body falls apart? And now this thing that you've built yourself up on, man, don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself, man. Don't limit you can get high paying clients based on professionalism. Ooh, that was a tough one. Based on professionalism and based on your intelligent conversation, you can bring in high value clients and also learn from them. Guys, let's learn from them. All right? But all that flashiness and stuff, and it brings me to point number 4. All that flashiness it can reduce client loyalty. Because if all you doing is getting this money from behind a chair, taking it and buying some type of designer, I don't know what designer it is, but it may not be the designer that it says on the shirt. All you doing is taking that designer and you're taking that designer, and what are you proving? What are you showing to people? You taking and buying this designer and trying to show, oh yeah, I'm the big guy. Man, it doesn't even make sense. I got like, come on, man. Just don't mess up your clientele trying to prove to your clientele that you got it. Because the guys in the shop, typically in a barber shop, that really got it, they're sensible. They're wearing sensible clothes, sensible shoes. They don't want hair all in their good clothes. But you wearing the best outfits that you got to go to work to cut hair? I mean, I'm sure somebody does it, but would you really wear a Gucci shirt to change oil? Sure, somebody's done it before. Would you really wear the top brand designer to go work out in? Sure, somebody's done it before, but is it smart? Man, get you some sensible stuff. The clients are, listen, I'm telling you, again, I'm gonna say this again, I've said this before, and I'm gonna repeat this. This is one of the best things that, if you've ever heard of the Barbers Roundtable, it's one of the best things that he said and helped me so much in my career and with my anxiety as far as not being as technically proficient as the other barbers when I first got into the shop. He said most people don't care how well you cut hair. They care how you do business. That's the truth. They care how you do business. All right? You go out and get the top brand clippers And then you tell somebody, oh yeah, I just dropped $250 on this. They do not care. They really don't. They were like, oh, you spent a lot of money on it, but they really don't care. They want their haircut and they want it to look nice. So whether it's a knockoff clipper or it's some sort of professional, top brand clipper, don't care. Can it cut my hair? Can it make it look nice? Cool. All right. So look, don't get so caught up in yourself and showing that you can do something. Your skills, your conversation, and your professionalism and your business should work for you. And finally, I'm going to close, and this is my last point. That's my last point for tonight. Failing to develop personally limits your ability to change in markets, right? So we all know a starter, like we've a lot of times your neighborhood shops are good starter places, right? Your chain places, your chain salons and barbershops are good starter places. But if you want to elevate and deal with a higher paying, a higher quality client, Joey from the block back in the day is not going to get into a high-end shop because they're going to stop you as soon as you come through the door. You may not even get an interview, or you might get an interview to be nice, but you can't take that mentality with you. That mentality is going to cost you money. I'm telling you, as far as I know, right? The disrespectful guy, whatever, say whatever out of his mouth, super liable for whatever. Although he may get a client to pay him $100, he couldn't get every client to pay him $100. Nobody's trying to take that type of abuse. If I'm going to give you $100, I need to feel like my $100 was earned. But that my experience that you gave me was earned. But limiting yourself on skills, limiting yourself on conversation, limiting yourself on being open to profession and hearing people out. You can't be a barber behind a chair who only wants to talk and never wants to listen. Because your walk-in clients, unless you know them, and for me, a lot of my walk-in clients I don't know. You don't know what information they have that they could possibly share with you. You don't. So why ruin it by just being, I won't say you, because you're just this image that you just won't let go of. I got to be a tough guy. I got to be alpha male. No, dog, cut the hair. Deal with the client. This isn't boxing. This is cutting hair. You don't need to show all your feathers to your clients. Show them that you can hold a decent conversation. Show them that you're consistent. Show them that you're professional. Show them those things. All right, show them those things. So, and let's review. Let's review these key points here. Refusing, and I'm going to say this again. Refusing to develop and have personal development is going to have you, is going to cost you clients, it costs you growth of your clientele base. You're going to miss out on business opportunities. You're going to have limited professional visibility. You're going to potentially reduce one-time loyal clients, and you're going to limit your ability to change with the market. You're going to limit your ability to change with the market. All of these things are going to cost you money. They just are. They're going to cost you money, guys. So listen, man. Let's develop personally. Let's do some personal development. Let's not go home and spend all of our time on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook or wherever, or checking other people's Snapchats. And let's not spend all of our time doing that. Let's spend time, pick up a book, listen to an audio book, listen to a podcast about something, business wise, or about something that you may be going through, right? Do some other stuff, because what you're doing is killing business. You refuse. You want to be the same person in 20 years as you are today. All right, 20 years ago that might have worked. It's just like it's just like sports. For my football people, like, listen, the I formation was a dominant formation 20 years ago. It was a dominant formation 30 years ago. I'm telling you right now, most people don't even understand how to run it. They don't understand how to run it. They want to see the big, flashy spread offense, spread the field, throw the ball, have you a nice little running back that can get a couple yards, everything like that. And the running backs want holes. They ain't trying to bang for it. And they getting money. But you very rarely see the I formation. So what you did 20 years ago may have worked then, but it's probably not going to work now. It's probably not working for you now, but you just refuse to let it go. Let that old person die. It's okay. Become a new person. In order to make six figures, and we talk about that a lot, in order to make six figures, you're going to have to do something different. Because if you can make six figures with what you're doing now, you would. Listen, guys, develop personally, understand, grow. Let's get it. Let's get after it. Let's get after it. I'm your host, Devon Evans. This is the Band of Barbers Podcast. Hey, guys, I really appreciate you, man. I really do. And I really want to see you guys grow and win. I really want to see you guys grow, develop, and really win. All right? The future's in your hands. Let's take control of it. Have a good night.